so often we feel like we're not a big deal, we're not going to be a big deal, and then guess what happens? We don't make it happen. Like, it has to start with you believing that you can actually be a big deal. What's going on with that? Why do you believe that you can't be a big deal? Like, what is there underneath the surface that is making you believe that about yourself? Because it's not true. You just are holding a belief around it, but that doesn't make that belief true. Hello! So before I get into this week's episode, I wanted to tell you about something that we are doing, and it's the first time we've ever done it. So we have put together something called our income fund, and it's $10,000, and we are giving it away. And I'm so excited about it. So this fund is to help amazing people like you, to take your idea and fund it to become a reality. So how you can turn your idea into a wildly successful business, a wildly successful income stream. I feel like all of us are sat on so many ideas. I mean, if you're anything like me, you have a notebook filled with hundreds of ideas. And so often we're sat on all these amazing ideas, but we're not doing things with them. So I wanted to put this fund together to help get you going with it, to help you to be like, no, I'm doing this. Like, I've got this here and I'm going to go for it. I'm hosting the Ideas to Income Challenge. It's starting on the 25th of January, which is the Tuesday, and over 3 days that week, the 25th, the 26th, the 27th, I'm hosting 3 live workshops, so 1 each day. And in those workshops, I am sharing how you can take your idea and turn it into reality. And it's completely free, the challenge. We've got thousands and thousands of women already signed up joining us for it. It's going to be amazing. And then on those workshops live, I'm going to be doing income drops. So in order to win part of that $10,000, all you need to do is to be there live, to be in with a chance of winning live on the session. So you don't have to go and do something else. It's literally going to happen live. Somebody is going to win part of that money, and we've got some big amounts up for grabs. So if you want to get involved in the income fund, if you want to get involved in the whole thing, then all you need to do is head over to fea.link/ideas to income. fea.link/ideas to income. Sign up. It's completely free. Just pop your name and email address in. We'll send you all the info for when the challenge starts, the live sessions, and we will then be doing these income drops as part of the challenge. It's going to be so much fun. Do not miss out on it. It's going to be the best way to start 2022. And if you are sitting on ideas to create a course or a membership or a digital product, or maybe you've just got loads of ideas but you just don't even know where to begin with it all, then definitely join me for this incredible challenge. It's going to be so much fun. If you've joined one of our challenges in the past, you'll know that we go all out to make them as amazing as possible. So definitely sign up, join me. You'll also find the link below. It's in the show notes. So click it, come on over and sign up for this free challenge. It's going to be amazing. So all that said, I wanted to talk to you today about how do you become a big deal? Like, how do you become a big deal in business, in your industry? How do you go from having an idea to breaking through to becoming really well recognized in your industry, to creating so much success, to actually becoming a millionaire or whatever it is you want to become? But like, let's be honest about this. You can 100% become a millionaire. You can 100% build a multi-million-dollar, pound, whatever business. Like, you can do that. You have the ability to do it. I have no doubts in my mind about it. Because if someone had told me, I don't know, 15 years ago, that I would have been able to build a business that's made millions and millions, I would have thought, yeah, in my wildest dreams. Because the idea back then of me creating like loads of success and becoming a millionaire felt like a joke. Like, don't be so ridiculous. So to go from feeling like it would be a complete ridiculous joke to actually making it my reality, in doing that, I've realized actually there is a process if you want to break through and become a big deal. Like, how are you going to create the success that you want? So I wanted to share these 4 things with you to help you to really become a big deal. So the first thing I wanted to share is this. If you want to be a big deal, you have to figure out what your thing is. So what is your thing for becoming a big deal? what is your thing? And when I say that, I mean, like, what is your focus? What is your mission? You have to be so clear on what that is so that you know what you're going after. So, for example, for me, when I started the Female Entrepreneur Association, I knew really clearly that my thing was to be able to bring women in business together, for us to support one another, for us to be a place where I'm going to inspire and empower women to build wildly successful businesses. Like, that was what my thing was. I was there to be that person to inspire and empower women in business. Like, that was my thing. What is your thing? What is your mission? What is it that you're trying to do? And be so clear and so focused on what that is so that you can create the success that you want to create. Without that, you're all over the place, and what the heck are you going to even be a big thing doing? So knowing what your thing is, what is your mission? Once you know that, the second thing is knowing who is it for? Who is your thing for? Who is your mission? Who are you helping on this mission? So for me, I knew I'm helping women in business, or women who want to start a business. So I knew really clearly who is it that I'm trying to go after? Who is it that I'm trying to help, trying to support, trying to serve? Like, who are those people? So you need to know who it is you are serving so that you know who you need to get in front of, basically. So understanding what your thing is and who your thing is for. Two really important things. Once you have figured that, then the next thing is networking like a crazy person. This is so important, even if you are an introvert, because like I am definitely on the introverted side. And for me, I knew I had to get myself out there, networking to find people who can help you, who can help bring your ideas to life, people who are going to be interested in what it is that you're offering, but getting out there and connecting with people. This is the way for you to become a big deal, for people to get to know you and to connect with you and to believe in you, and for you to be able to talk about the thing that you're doing with so much authenticity, and to be able to share your stories around why you're doing what you're doing, and to connect with people in a really meaningful way is going to be such a game changer. So for me, when I started FEA, I started networking a lot, I mean, online, so on LinkedIn at the time, and then since then, like in Facebook groups and all different ways, actually. And for me, at the beginning, though, on LinkedIn, I was reaching out to people, I was connecting with people, I was just showing genuine interest in other people and what they were doing in like the business space. I started to say yes to opportunities to going to events, and I met more people at those events. And it was through meeting people that I learned key things that I need to be doing. It was through meeting and networking with people that I had some amazing opportunities to create some incredible things. And it was through like masterminds that I joined early on, where I learned, for example, I need an email list. I need to be creating content, free content, to be able to get in front of my audience. And in joining those masterminds and meeting people, it really helped me to figure out, like, what am I actually meant to be doing? How am I going to get myself out there in the best way? And so for me, networking and masterminding and connecting with people has been so instrumental to my own success. One of the reasons early on why I started a magazine, a digital magazine called, it was originally This Girl Means Business and then became She Means Business, but one of the reasons that I created that magazine is so that I could reach out and interview people that were way more successful than me. Because a really good way to be able to become a bigger deal is to elevate yourself, to be seen and connected to someone that's bigger than you. So that is what I focus on doing. How could I figure out how I could interview, or how I could connect with these really big people, and how could I then make it so that other people saw that person and saw me, and then I was being associated with that person, even though I was nowhere near where they were at in terms of like success or what they'd accomplished and achieved or something. So thinking about you and your industry, who are some people that you might want to put on a wish list to reach out to, and think like it would be amazing to be able to like do something with them, or collaborate with them, or interview them, or support them in some way. Like, how could I get into their world? How could I get seen or noticed by those people? And I think that like nowadays with social media and and even, for example, like for us, we have our membership, our members club, and inside of our members club, there's every opportunity to be able to reach out and to connect with me and the team. And the people that leverage that and who actually reach out and connect and really build amazing relationships with me and the team have like we've done amazing things with them. And, you know, from them being on the podcast to doing things together, or, you know, there's just so many things have transpired. But so few people actually reach out and like really build those relationships. Like, you know, when I'm part of programs and courses, I want to connect with the person that's running the program. I want to be able to get on their radar, for them to notice me, for them to see me. And so it's like, how are you getting on people's radar? How are you getting noticed by people? Not by doing crazy weird things that aren't you, but by being your real, true, authentic self, but just reaching out to build those relationships and connect with people. It's so powerful what is possible when you just make the effort and you reach out and start connecting with people in a real, genuine, meaningful way. It's really, really powerful. And those relationships help to elevate you in so many ways, through opportunities and like all sorts. So really networking and getting people in your industry, in your space, to know who you are, what your thing is, and who your thing is for, and just, yeah, really establishing yourself. And like every single one of us can do this. You might be like, you know, but there's already loads of other people doing it. Or you might have loads of fears around putting yourself out there. But at the end of the day, if you want to make your business really successful, if you want your business to be a big deal, if you want to be a big deal, then you have to have the courage to use your voice to speak up and to connect with people and to share your story and to share why you're doing what you're doing and to really put yourself out there. And by networking and connecting, you can really do that. I think sometimes we overlook it. Sometimes we chase after, we have to post out on social media, or we have to learn Facebook ads. And obviously those two things are amazing ways to get seen and to create visibility. But there's something super powerful about networking, about reaching out one-on-one with people and building relationships one-on-one. There's something really powerful with that, because it's just amazing where that can go. And I have always experienced that when you reach out and build those relationships, the ideas that flow from it, the following connections that flow from it are just, can be so powerful. Not always, obviously, but a lot of the time it can be really, really powerful. And for me, the relationships I've built with people have definitely helped me to make FEA a bigger deal than what it would have been. Like, I haven't done it by myself. I have done it with the help of so many people along the way. And that's the thing, like, you don't have to do this alone. You can do this with the help and support of so many other people. And the final thing, the fourth thing that I really want to share, although there's so many different things I could share on this topic, but is make the decision to become so bloody good at what you're doing. Like, so many people don't make that decision. Like, there are so many businesses out there that are just average. They're average. Like, have you ever had an experience where, I don't know, the experience has just been so average, it's been so underwhelming, you've just been like, this is just really average. It happens so often. But what if you decide that you're going to be just so bloody amazing, you're going to become so good at what you're doing, you're going to go above and beyond with every little detail, with all the different things in your business, you're just going to be so good at it. You're going to think through, how can you create a business that really stands out head and shoulders above the rest? How can you create a brand that's just absolutely brilliant? How can you create a brand that people want to talk about, that people really want to connect with, that people are inspired by? Like, how can you do that? And the answer is, go and learn how to build a really bloody amazing business, how to build an incredible brand. Like, all the information you could ever need is out there, and you can go and learn it. And when you learn it and when you start applying it and start implementing it, it's going to transform everything, but you're going to become a big deal because people are going to start paying attention to you because what you're doing is so good. And it's just also making that decision that you are going to become so good, making that decision that you are going to become a big deal. Like, for me, life started to change when I decided that I wanted to be somebody. I wanted to be somebody. I wanted to matter. I wanted to be successful. I wanted to become a millionaire. I wanted to create a successful business that was impactful, that was meaningful, that was fulfilling. Like when I made those decisions that that's who I wanted to be and that's what I wanted to create, then my life started to change because I made that decision that that's what I was bringing into my life. So if you want to be a big deal, decide that you're a big deal. Decide that you are a big deal. And once you made that decision that you're a big deal, guess what? You'll start to make decisions in a different way. You'll start to show up in a different way. You'll start to talk to yourself in a different way. Everything will start changing. It might feel so insignificant, but these little changes will add up to a big outcome. So make that decision. Like there's no difference between like you and anyone else that's a big deal right now. Nothing other than they have made a series of decisions that have helped them to get to where they are. And they are, so decide that you're going to be a big deal. Decide that that's what you want for your life, that you want for yourself. It's like, even, for example, when I had the desire to write my book and I wanted to get it published with Hay House and I wanted to make it a big deal, like I had to convince myself that for a while that like I was going to become a best-selling author. I was going to become an author. I was going to write for Hay House. And I just started to really believe it. I started to really believe and that's what was going to happen. And when I went along to Hay House events, I would be sat in the audience and I would be imagining that it was me on that stage talking and that it was me. And I remember being sat in the audience way before I was a Hay House author. And I was literally delivering the beginning of the speech that I knew I would deliver the first time I spoke. And it was the beginning of the first ever speech I ever gave in a Hay House, to a Hay House audience. And it's just like, decide that you're going to become really successful and you are going to be a big deal in your industry, or full stop, you're going to be a big deal. Make that decision for yourself, because when you decide that that's available for you, your life will change. But so often we feel like we're not a big deal, we're not going to be a big deal. And then guess what happens? We don't make it happen. Like, it has to start with you believing that you can actually be a big deal. And if right now you're like, well, actually, I don't know if I can, then start there with that, of like, what's going on with that? Why do you believe that you can't be a big deal? Like, what is there underneath the surface that is making you believe that about yourself? Because it's not true. You just are holding a belief around it, but that doesn't make that belief true. So what then beliefs do you need to work on that are going to really help you to really become a big deal? So really get clear on what it is that you're doing, what your mission is, what your thing is. Get really clear on who it's for, like who you're trying to serve, who are you there to help, support, like who are you doing that, like what's this for, like who are the people that would most be interested in your mission and the thing that you're building. How are you going to network like a crazy person? Who could you connect with? What groups could you join? What things could you be part of? Which programs could you be part of that will help you? Whose space do you want to get into? Who do you want to notice you? Who do you want to start paying attention to you and who you are? Like, how could you get into their world? What do they have available that could help you to get into it? So for me, for example, if I want to get into someone's world, I think, how can I connect with them? How could I work with them? Am I on their email list? Do I reply to their emails? Am I responding to them? Become their biggest fan. Become their biggest fan and they'll start to pay attention to you. And so it's like, how can I become their biggest fan? How can I become their biggest cheerleader? How can I show up and support them? And in doing that, people will start to pay attention to you and what you're doing. So really connecting and networking, deciding, making that wish list of the people that you'd love to be connected with, the circles that you'd love to be in. Like, who could you connect with that could really help elevate you and elevate your authority in the industry that you're in? How could you align yourself with that? So really thinking through that, and like, but you don't have to go really, really big. Just think small. Like when I got started networking, I was just like, I just know I need to connect with people. I know I need to talk about what I'm doing. I know I need to get my message out there and start having more conversations with people about this. And so I started to go to local networking events. I started to network online. I started to join groups. I just started to put myself out there and have conversations, meaningful, real conversations that weren't centered around me and what I wanted, but were centered around opening myself up to build relationships and listen to people, listen to what people had to say, to support other people. And it just helped. It just really blossomed. And then finally, becoming so blooming good at what you're doing. Become amazing at what you're doing. You can become amazing at anything. Like anything. If you want to become amazing at playing the piano, then what do you do to get amazing at playing the piano? You get a teacher, you take lessons, you learn, you practice and 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 you start to become really, really good. And it's the same in business. If you want to have a business that stands out, if you want to become a big deal, then blooming practice like crazy at becoming so amazing. Take the courses that you need to take, learn from the people that you need to learn from, do what you need to do in order to figure out how to become so blooming good. Like, I remember back in the early days of building FEA, at first I realised that Facebook was really helping to grow my business. So I decided to go all in and become amazing at marketing my business using Facebook. And it changed everything, making that decision to become so bloody amazing at building my business with Facebook. Then when I realised that Facebook ads are working really well for me, guess what? I was like, this is really working. I'm going to go all in to figure out how I can become amazing at Facebook ads. You can become amazing at anything you put your mind to. It's deciding, I'm going to become amazing at this, and I'm going to learn what I need to learn and implement what I need to implement in order to become so blooming amazing at this. And not overcomplicating it, not trying to do everything all at the same time, but deciding what are the areas you need to become amazing at. How can you show up and be as amazing as you possibly can be? And that doesn't mean being perfect by any means, by the way. Don't let that hold you back and think, oh my gosh, I need to be so good I can't get started ever. No, but it's looking at like striving to constantly get better, and the way you get better is by giving yourself permission to start and be crap. Like, honestly, giving yourself permission to start and for it to be messy, for you to not have it all figured out, but for you to be willing to go on this journey to figure it out, to become amazing. That's how you get to become amazing, by giving yourself permission to get started somewhere. Wherever you are right now, to just get started. And in just doing that and committing to it and sticking to it. And I think that is also the key thing, sticking to it. Because so many people fall off the bandwagon literally just before they're about to break through. And so it's like sticking at it and keeping going and keeping going and keeping going. If you feel like that's, like for me, for example, with FEA and building FEA and knowing the success I wanted to create. The first 2 years of building FEA, I didn't make any money at all. And so many people told me to give up. So many people told me to go and get a normal job. And I didn't, because in my heart, I wanted to do it. In my heart, I wanted to figure out how I could create success with it. I wasn't ready to give up. I didn't want to give up. So I kept going, and I dealt with my money blocks, and I dealt with different things to help me to get through and to create success and for it to become a big thing. And sticking at it helped me. I mean, it's got me to where I am now. There's a quote I had on my wall that said, successful people hang on when everyone else has let go. And I think for me, that's the thing. It's like, if you want to create the success in your life, if you want to live your best life, if you want to have the financial freedom or financial abundance that you want, it's like you have to then find a way to keep evolving your journey to get to where you want to get to. Like for me, deciding like to quit what I was doing to go and get a job, it just wasn't where I couldn't see how that could help me get to where I wanted to get to. And so I was just so focused on like where I was trying to get to. And it really helped me to just keep going. So all of us have the ability to create so much success, to become a big deal, to become a big deal so that we can, not in like an egotistical way, but in a way so that we can have the impact that we want to have, so that we can create the success we want to create, so that we can live more meaningful, fulfilled lives. And every single one of us has the ability to do it. It's making that decision that's what you're gonna, if that's what you want, then make that decision. That's what you're gonna do. That's what you're gonna do. Like if you want to have a really successful podcast, make that decision. Like, I'm gonna do it. So whatever that is for you, it's making that decision and going after it. And then following those steps that I shared. Anyway, you can create so much success. Never forget that. You are here to do amazing things in this world. So just keep going with it. Keep going. So anyway, I hope you can make it to join me for the Ideas to Income Challenge, which starts on the 25th of January. It's going to be so much fun. Like I said, there's thousands of women already signed up for it, and it's going to be an incredible 3 days where I've got those 3 workshops for you. and definitely get involved in the income drops and to get your part of that income fund to help fund your ideas so that you can turn them into a wildly successful reality. So join me at our fea.link/ideas to income, fea.link/ideas to income. The link is below too. Anyway, I hope you have enjoyed this episode, and I will see you next week for another episode of the She Means Business Show. I hope you've loved this week's episode of the She Means Business Show. If you want more help and support to build a wildly successful business, then join hundreds of thousands of women and become an FEA insider. You'll get access to some of our amazing freebies, to our bonuses, to our giveaways, to so much good stuff. You can join me over at fea.link/insider to get all of the goodness. And I will see you next week for another episode of the She Means Business Show.